What's up, YouTube? Speedmaster24 here with another video. Today I'm back here with code sculpting for another tutorial video. Now, I thought I would go back and explain the frame.getCanvas text width. So, all this does is, you can see the print, and I'm pretty sure you know what print means. It, print something out of a printer, but in coding, it means print something onto the screen. So if I come here, you'll see this section right here is where print does its work. So if I were to do print, and then let's just say A, let's just do the letter A then. You can see it prints the letter A there, but it also brought this up because this was there, so yeah. But you can see the letter A there. So that's what print does. It prints it onto the other side of the screen. Now, the fact that you see it says print hello 12 sans serif, you might be confused by 27. What this does is it tells like the width of the text in pixels. So you inputted what you were going to write, you inputted how big it's going to be, and you inputted like what font it's going to be in. And then it says how wide it's going to be in pixels. So this is just something for figuring out the position when you want it centered. That's all. I find that it's better to just do trial and error, at least for me, that it is. But yeah. Okay, so on to the control objects. Here we have labels, buttons, inputs, and get text and whatnot. So we'll start with the label. Now, for labels, oh wait, that reminds me. Where was it? See, what was it? I forgot, guys. 1 second. Oh, right, here it is. So, here you can see the, just a few of the different kinds of colors. If you come to simple GUI module constants, you can see the color constants. And so you can see the colors and, like, what their names are. Now, these aren't all the colors. If I were to type light blue, that would still work. If I were to type, let's just say purple or something. I don't know. Doesn't matter. It will still work as long as it's a color you generally use. So it's like a color that pretty much everyone knows. So like if I were to type in poo color, I doubt it would work. So just think of colors that pretty much everyone knows. Now back to the control object. So for the labels, if I were to come here and run my little code, this area right here is where the labels, buttons, and inputs are. Now I've done videos where there's been labels, buttons, and inputs on that side. So first things first, you can see text and width. Now, I'll do the text and width part and whatnot. Now, you can have as many labels as you want, but my advice is order them the way you want them set up. So if I were to do label if I were to do the label here, so you write what you want to say with the parentheses. Remember the parentheses. Not parentheses, quotation marks. Remember the quotation marks? Let's just say, I'm new. And then for this one, I do hello. So you can see it's out of order. And then I will just delete this for now, for the width, just because. Now, I'm new, hello. If I were to do this, it's not going to order it the way you want. It's not going to immediately order it of, hello, I'm new. You have to do it in the order you want. So, one thing you can do is if you highlight a section and then drag it, you can move it up to the area where you want it to be and whatnot. Which I just made a huge mess. My bad, guys. There we go. Okay, then I select this. Drag it down there. And there we go. Problem solved. And then now, if I do it, it'll say, hello, I'm new. So there you go. Now for the width part, if I were to do, let's just say 10, nothing changes. But the reason for that is because I didn't type in some super long chat. So let's just do a bunch of that. And then if I do 10, you can see, well, that's down there. My bad. So let's just do a bunch of spaces in between. There we go. Oh, come on! Just wasn't doing it before. Right, so 1 second, guys. I'll be right back. I've forgotten things. So there's some technical difficulties where I was being stupid again. So as you can see, the text is now going on to there, and you may be wondering why. So I made it so it wrote a lot, and I changed the width to 1,000. So if I come to my project where it extends over there, the text will go up to 1,000 long. So I can still continue to lengthen this, and it will still it won't go on to the next line. Now, if I were to change the width of the area there, you can see what 1,000 looks like. So that's 1,000 long. That is 1,000 long. So the fact that's 1,000, well, that's why. So that's what the width does. Normally, you won't really need to do width because it will automatically do it for you. So there's the labels. There's the labels. Problem solved for the labels, whatnot. Now we're on to buttons. Now here you can see it says a DEF and then button handler. Now the way buttons work, I will just do this. I'll copy and paste it here, mostly because that's faster than typing. Well, for me it is. Now you can see you have a button. Now, my advice, don't put the button creator with everything else. You want to put it down farther below. Okay, let's see. What should the button say? Let's just say the button says start. And then the button handler, well, let's just change that to A. Now, my dog's barking. 1 second. Right while I'm trying to record, my dog is being a problem. So whatever your button name is, well, that's that. Remember, parentheses for anything that's a name, specifically. Now, one thing you might want to notice is that there's also an equal thing for the button and whatnot. So I have to now name the button whatnot like usual. So let's just say Bob space equal. No, not plus, equal. So there we go. That's the name of the button. So now you need to do something that defines what the button does. So that's what the def means. The def means define for it. Well, let's just change this to button 1. Oh, I know what the problem is. It thinks that's what it's defining. No, it's supposed to define A. So whatever this is set to, that's what this is. Now, if I remember correctly, you need parentheses and a semicolon. You need parentheses and a semicolon. Remember the parentheses and the semicolon. Now when you press enter, you're tabbed forward. You want to stay in a tab forward, so that's whatever it does. So let's say the button, let's just say it changes the background color to purple. Actually, pink. Why not? Right, let's fix this. There we go. Now if I press start, the background changes to pink. Now if I press it again, nothing happens because, well, that's all it does. It just changes it to pink and it stays pink. So you define A and then you decide whatever you want it to be. Now, let's say you don't want the button to do anything for whatever reason. I don't know why, but let's just say you want the button to do nothing. Maybe you're making some puzzle where they need to find the button combination. If they press the wrong button, it does nothing and resets the entire thing. Then you write pass. If you write pass, it will pass over the button itself. So if I do start, nothing happens. Even if I were to input, let's just say I inputted it so the background colors changed to pink. It wouldn't do it. Well, I don't know why it did, but oh wait, I know. Never mind, I was stupid. But if you don't want it to do anything, you have to put pass, otherwise there'll be an error. So if I just do that, it says that's a bad input. And it's like, and you may be wondering, because this thinks that this is what it's supposed to do. So I will just put pass there, because why the heck not? Now you can make as many buttons as you want, and remember, you can always add a third thing that will do width. So 1,000. The button's 1,000 long. And that is one big start button. Start. Start button. Now, now the button length will be the size of what you're writing on the button. So, yeah. If I were to write start, let's see. Now, if I do that, you can see it extends to however long it is. Keep extending it. Now you can see that now it is double lined because it will automatically do it for you, so you don't need to worry about doing anything to fix like it being like going across the screen. So that's buttons for you. Now last but not least, oh right, I should explain this before anything else. Now, one thing I should explain is if you were to put a number sign, you can see it turns orange or brown or whatever color you see. I mean, I may be colorblind, but this is red, that's green, that's blue, these are purple. I don't think I'm colorblind, but I just can't tell if that's orange or purple. If you put a number sign, you can write a comment. So if I write this, it doesn't affect the code at all. However, if I were to write that there, it completely crashes the thing because it doesn't know what that is. So here you can write a comment in explaining things like frame options. Frame options, blah blah blah. Then you can do one right here. Let's see, button handler. You can just do whatever you want with the comments to explain things and make it neat and orderly. Now, let's see, input. Now there you go. There's that. Now we have our input area. Now last but not least, we have input. Now, this video is getting kind of long, so I'll probably section it into two parts. Maybe, maybe not, but still, yeah. Well, actually, you know what? No, I won't. I will just explain it, because screw it. But I don't know why it seems like it's taking forever. I don't know why this seems so long. I don't get it. I just don't. Because 1002, 1003, 1004, 1005, 1006, 1007, 1008, 1009, 1000. Yeah. I don't get it, but whatever. So, input. Now, same thing with everything else. However, you do kind of have to have a width and whatnot. So frame, what do we want the input to say? So it will display what you want it to say above the input. So let's say we want it to say favorite food. So now we have the input handler. Now if we were to do, let's just change it to A so it doesn't do anything when we type it in. But yeah. So now if I were to get rid of width and run it, I forgot to do the parentheses. Like I said, don't forget the parentheses. It'll cause problems. Now if you come here, it also requires a special word for a special thing for the input and whatnot. So you also have to remember to do that. Let's just do INP like it did. So favorite food in A. Now if you run it, what do you mean? So as you can see, you need to have the width. So let's just do the width as 10. Because screw it. Now as you can see, that's where you type in your favorite food. Pizza. Enter. Grrr. Grrr. Well, just ignore that for now because input usually requires something to happen. So I will just explain input in further detail later in another video. But for now, that's technically good. The input technically works. Actually, let's just say this. Let's do error. So whenever someone types something in, and let's change this to 100. Whenever someone types something in, let's just say anything. An error will happen. Mostly because, well, this. That's what's causing the error and whatnot. So, yeah. But, error. Well, that's just the error for you. Okay, so now, end of video. I'll explain more detail later on.